Okay, so picture this, if you will, an ancient battlefield. But forget the clang of swords for a moment. Think instead about sound. A sound so powerful, so potent, it could actually break an enemy's spirit before the real fighting even started.
It's a fascinating concept. Sound is a primary weapon.
Exactly. And today we're doing a deep dive into just two verses.
Cool.
Two lines from the Bhagavad Gita, which is, a cornerstone text from the Mahabharata. We've got the Sanskrit, the transliteration, and the English. It gives us this really direct look into a key moment.
Confrontation, yeah.
Our mission here is to kind of unpack how these lines, which seem pretty straightforward maybe, actually reveal some really deep insights. We're talking ancient warfare, combat psychology,
Yeah.
and the surprising, pretty terrifying role of sound. And what makes this really compelling, I think, and where this dot gets interesting, isn't just a sound, but how specific individual sounds combined,
Yep.
they build up into this tumultuous sound, as the text calls it. Powerful enough to, well, the translation says rent hearts.
That phrase alone tells you a lot. It's not just a signal.
Not at all. It's ancient psychological warfare right there in the text.
Absolutely. And what's really striking is how the source builds it up. You see the individual actions first, these specific warriors, then boom, the collective impact. It shows how these ancient texts weren't just telling stories. They embedded strategy, psychology, right into the description. It's much deeper than it looks on the surface.
Okay, so let's get into it. With that image, that kind of sonic warfare idea in mind, let's peel back the layers. It starts, as you said, by setting the stage, piece by piece. Verse 1 goes, Drupado, Topadias, Kasarvachikamabohoshachanda, and for you listening, that essentially means, O King Drupada, who's a powerful ally, the sons of Drapa, so the Pandava prince's kids, and the mighty armed Abhimanyu, son of Subhadra, a famous young warrior. They all blew their own conches. And the key part, each producing its own sound.
Right. That specific bit, pothak, separately, or each its own sound, that repetition in Sanskrit, it's often for emphasis. It really hammers home that these weren't just random noises. These were distinct, deliberate blasts from key warriors, powerful individuals making their presence known.
Okay, so not just a big, messy noise.
No, not yet. It signals individual strength, individual readiness, maybe from different points in the formation. It sets up this idea of a calculated collective effort that's coming next.
That makes sense. So highlighting these specific warriors first, what's the strategic purpose there, beyond just listing who showed up?
Oh, it's definitely deeper. By naming these powerful figures, Drupada, the princes, Abhimanyu, and stressing their individual sounds, the text is building psychological pressure. It's showcasing the caliber of the leadership on this side. It tells the enemy, look who you're facing.
Ah, okay, like a roll call of power.
Exactly, a sort of sonic roll call. It's designed to impress, maybe intimidate, even before the full sensory onslaught begins. It makes you wonder, okay, if these are the individuals, what happens when they all sound off together?
Which leads us right into the second verse. This is where the crescendo hits. Sagol dortariani viadarayat, nahashka putivi, kaiva tumulovianunadayan. And the English is, well, intense. That tumultuous sound rent the hearts of the sons of Duthera, that's the other side, the Kaurava army, reverberating through the sky and the earth with a terrifying echo.
Yeah, see, now it's sago, that sound, singular. It's moved from the individual puppet kutak to one overwhelming combined force. And the description, tumulo, it doesn't just mean loud. It implies terrifying, deafening, maybe chaotic even, a din.
Tumultuous, yeah.
And the effect is immediate, visceral. It rent the hearts, Vyadarit. That's not just making them scared, it's psychological damage.
That phrase, rent the hearts, it feels so physical. Can you unpack that a bit more? What did heart mean in that context? Was it just the organ or something more?
That's a great point. In a lot of ancient Indian thought, the heart, the hada, wasn't just the pump. It was seen as the seat of courage, of will, consciousness itself, even life force. So to have your heart rent or torn apart suggests a fundamental shattering. Your courage collapses, your resolve evaporates, your very will to fight is like ripped apart.
Wow, so it's hitting them at their core, demoralizing them completely before a weapon is even lifted.
Precisely. It's not just fear, it's incapacitation on a psychological level, a total collapse of inner strength.
And then the description that it reverberated through the sky and the earth, Yeah. That paints such a picture of inescapability, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Navkapathivi, Kaivaskai, and Earth. It filled everything. There was no escaping it. It surrounded them, amplifying the terror, the echo.
So a total sensory assault.
Exactly. Overwhelming, disorienting. This wasn't just charge. It was a deliberate act of psychological warfare before the charge. The goal was to make the enemy feel the immense weight, the power arrayed against them, to make them doubt themselves. You can almost feel that sound, maybe a low-frequency vibration from all those conches hitting them, shaking the ground, shaking them, adding to that primal fear.
Okay, so bringing this all together, we've just looked really closely at 2 short verses. What's the big takeaway here for us, for you listening?
Well, I think this dive really shows how something seemingly simple, like a conch shell, could become this incredibly powerful psychological weapon. We saw that clear buildup. First, the individual, named warriors Drupada, the sons of Draupadi, the mighty Abhimanyu, each making their distinct sound purposeful.
Right, the puthak.
Yeah, and then how those distinct sounds merged into sago, that one single, terrifying, tumultuous sound designed specifically to instill fear.
And it worked. The impact on the sons of Datarda, having their hearts rent, I mean, that says it all. Morale shattered, spirit broken. And the sheer scale reverberating through sky and earth, it just drives home how overwhelming, how inescapable, and frankly, how terrifying that must have been. Sound alone doing that kind of damage.
It really invites you, doesn't it, to think about the power of things we can't necessarily touch or see, like sound. Or maybe even silence in other contexts. How these non-physical things can deeply affect our emotions, how we perceive things, our determination. It's not just ancient history. Think about music, speeches, even just the tone of a room.
That's true. It makes you think, if a specific sound from a conch could hit warriors that hard, deep in their core back then, what about today? What kinds of invisible inputs, maybe sounds, maybe other sensory things we don't always notice, might be subtly shaping your thoughts, your feelings right now? And maybe, how could you become a bit more aware of those effects, the ones intended by others, and maybe the ones that just happen? Something to reflect on.